Wow, I love being able to draw every day. I'm so lucky to be able to do what I love. No. No.
Would you like to discuss politics?
No! Hi, I'm Mash, and about a month ago I moved into a dorm to attend college, the greatest Ponzi scheme of all time. My spirits were high, there were ramen noodles exploding in every community microwave, and stars were in my eyes from wonder. And also a concussion. My parents were excited for me, hoping that now that I was surrounded by people my age, I would finally get a social life. Well, as it turns out, everything's online this year. Joke's on you, Dad. I never have to see or hear other people again. And now for my first class.
Yeah,
Did you that's when I told Stacy. No, I can't go out with that baby. I'm tired of being Everything was going according to plan. In all honesty though, my first class wasn't terrible and I came out of it feeling pretty great. I didn't even have any homework yet, so I had a free hour between classes. Now, this is where most college students would waste time doing something like playing video games or going on social media or throwing things off the roof. But I wasn't going to fall prey to the hubris of man, thinking that I'm invincible and that I can skirt by just doing the bare minimum. So I decided I would be productive with my time and go pick up my textbooks. Plus, the bookstore was only a 5-minute bike ride away, which, believe me, would be no problem. I had biked to school every day for over 2 years. I rode it in 100-degree heat. I rode it through a storm that broke trees. I rode it through that one part of town where people just really want to sell you their mixtape. Seriously, bro, it's so fire. Just buy it. Just buy it. Hey, come back here! Everything else in my life may have changed or betrayed me or tried to sell me pirated music for $30, but Bike was always there for me, supporting me through it all with their well-oiled wheels and responsive brakes. I knew my bike like I knew the back of my own hand. Wait, which side is the back again? Anyway, trust me, I knew how to ride a bike. So a 5-minute trip to the bookstore, sure, I may be a little rusty, but I wasn't gonna die or anything, right? So as I went along my cheery, wonder-filled, clueless way, I started picking up some speed. And since I'm a good boy who wants to be safe and not hit pedestrians, I decided to slow down just a tad. Well, this is it. This is how I die, soaring through the air like a greased penguin shot out of a rocket launcher, hurtling toward the ground. My life will be left as a cliffhanger, forever fluttering away like the torn pages of a discarded novel. Ah, look, the ground, my end. It approaches. At least I got to feel weightless for this one brief moment before it all came crashing down. I may have survived, but my hand sure didn't. I had crashed because I forgot which brake lever was the back one. How I got into college but still couldn't tell my left from my right is up there on my list of questions I will never learn the answers to, alongside great mysteries such as what causes gravity, what is the meaning of life, and how does the cream get inside the Twinkie? And just like that Twinkie, the inside of my hand was now goop. But I had errands to run, so I just kept going, like nothing had happened. As I rode, my right hand went back to feeling normal, but my left, didn't. Because of course things can't just work themselves out. That would be boring. By the time I had gotten my books and biked back to the apartment, I could tell something was seriously wrong. But who has time for that? I have art class right now. Perfect timing! Excuse me, Mr. Hans? I may have a slight issue with the assignments this semester.
If a dog ate your drawing tablet, I'll stop you right there. Paper is fine.
No, actually, it's...
If the only thing you can draw is anthropomorphic foxes, just drop out and do commissions on Twitter.
What? No,
If you're here to draw anime in my class...
Sir, I broke my hand!
Okay, and? SMH, man, Gen Z is so sensitive.
I would have stayed in the call after class to explain myself more, but I did not have time for that, because I had to walk to the urgent care center. I would have biked, but apparently nothing loves me in this cruel world. I thought I could trust you. Hey, don't look at me like that. You know we're through. I'm putting the brakes on this relationship. So I walked for 15 minutes to urgent care, got some x-rays done, got a splint and walked back. An hour of my life gone, I now officially knew that my left hand was broken. And just as I was about to have my first meal of the day, I got a text message from the bookstore. And they told me that they had more books for me, because they forgot last time. Oopsie whoopsie! Fun fact about the layout of the campus I'm on, the bookstore's also a 15-minute walk away from my apartment, in the opposite direction of urgent care. So I walked the 15 minutes there, waited 20 minutes in line for the second time that day, picked up several large, heavy, overpriced textbooks with my one good arm, and walked the 15 minutes back to my apartment, while my left hand was still screaming at me in pain. So I'm finally back in my apartment. All my classes are done for the day, I have all my textbooks, and I've been to urgent care. Thank goodness it's finally over. Hello?
Hey there, this is, Dr. Doctor just calling to let you know that, we actually gave you the wrong splint, so if you could come back as soon as possible, that would be great.
Also off topic, but I am having a blast holding this phone while writing at the same time.
I don't know why I felt like I needed to tell you that, just thought it was interesting. Anyways, see you in a bit.
So I walked the 15 minutes to urgent care again, saw the doctor again, got a splint again, and then walked the 15 minutes back to my apartment. Okay, we're done. I can eat now. How are there still more textbooks? I ordered like 5 things! So it turns out that the website I ordered my textbooks through had glitched and ordered every book 3 times. Cause you know, third time's the charm, am I right? But I kept my head up. I walked back with my duplicates, canceled my third order, and then waited in line to return the second set while trying to nurse my broken soul. You're here for a return? Sure am. These got triple ordered on accident, so I really don't need them. Triple ordered, huh? That's never happened before. Take it as a sign of luck. Third time's the charm. Yeah. So the cashier tries to refund my books, but then the card gets declined while adding money to the card. You know your bank doesn't think much of you when they find adding money to your account suspicious. The cashier tried a couple more times after that, but she couldn't do anything and said I would just have to come back later after calling my bank. So you know what I did? I walked back, carrying all the textbooks. Again! And my fellow esteemed members of the human race, as I opened the door to my apartment, as I set down those books, as I came to the end of this unexpected, unwelcome, and unpleasant day, I get a phone call.
Hey, it's Dr. Doctor again, just, calling to let you know that we forgot to give you the DVD with your x-rays on them, and that's, like, the most important thing we're supposed to do outside of treatment itself, so, if you could just come on by and pick it up as soon as possible today, that would be great. Third time's the charm, am I right? See you in a bit.
When I got back from that trip to urgent care, I had walked almost 15,000 steps, and I had spent 2.5 hours just walking between urgent care and the bookstore. I was probably an inch shorter than at the beginning of the day from how much I had worn down my shoes. I was tired, I was hurt, and I was upset, specifically because of how dismissive my art professor had been. He was and is a very strict and no-nonsense guy, and to him, if I couldn't do the work, then I just couldn't do the work, broken hand or not. And while I agree with that policy, he really did not say it in a kind way. My teacher had as much sympathy for me as he did hair. It's not that he had none, but wherever it was hidden. And that left me feeling terrible, broken, and like I just wanted to give up. And so that night I just laid in my bed watching YouTube to try to cope with everything that had just happened to me when I decided to watch some older videos from some of my favorite creators just to get a hit of nostalgia in an attempt to make me feel better. I decided to watch Casey Neistat's interview with Mr. Beast, Casey Neistat's interview with Jocko Willink, and Jaden's Hero's Journey video, since I had remembered them all being very inspirational, and they still were. The combination of hearing about their drive, their passion, and their stories made something click in my brain. Yeah, I had a pretty terrible day, and the next couple months were not going to be easy, but that didn't mean I had to take it lying down. I mean that in a metaphorical sense. I'm very comfy right now. But the next day, I got to work. The 2 weeks of my life after the injury were consumed by exclusively one thing: drawing. Now, I'm sure you're already fretting about my hand, saying that it needs rest to get better, saying that I should just wait, saying that I should look into crystal healing. And you know what? I completely agree with the non-rock related solutions on that list. Because for those 2 weeks, I wasn't drawing with my left hand. I was drawing with my right. Every day I would practice circles, straight lines, and drawing drawing people without them knowing I was watching them, like a normal person. And at the end of those 2 weeks, I was able to draw and animate again. I got my assignments in, I started working on my videos again, and get this, I actually did the most freelance work I've ever done before. I was doing more than I was before the injury. Here's what I figured out. No matter how awful my or your or anyone's circumstances are, we always have a little more control than we think. No one was expecting me to be able to draw, but I found a way to do it in spite of, well, you know. So here's my declaration to you. No matter how bruised and broken you are right now, no matter what's stopping you, you can do it. Whether that's college or YouTube or just getting better, you can do it as long as you decide that today isn't the day that you quit.